Alright, guys, so this is going to be my comic review for Batman Killing Time. This is one of the books that, if you guys saw my live stream yesterday, then this is from one of the books that Chris sent me. aka the Mount Vernon Kid. Chris, thank you once again for these. And yeah, I kind of burned through this one. We're going to be talking about this book, obviously. I just repeated myself. So, what is Batman Killing Time? Batman Killing Time is written by Tom King, which already I know some people are already looking at the back button like, okay, I've heard enough. Wait, don't go! Hear me out. Tom King, for me, is a writer that can go either way. Like, I really like some of his early Batman run era, all the way up to War of Jokes and Riddles, even though I know some people don't like that. But I think he went on that book too long. And then he also did other stuff that is really good, like, I didn't read Strange Adventures, but I heard it's really good. I have read, of course, his Mr. Miracle run, his Mr. Miracle comic, that was just beautiful. And he is doing Human Target, which I really want to read his Human Target. Tom King is a writer I enjoy, but even I know, I'm like, he needs to be in small doses. And of course, yes, Heroes in Crisis is a thing. Not a good thing, either. Although, I do cut him a little slack because it does feel like the more I look back on it and the more I've heard, like, from podcasts and other interviews, it really does feel like Dan DiDio really stuck his dick in the whole process, because he really, like, apparently King wanted to tell a story and corporate just got in the way, as always. So, I don't fully blame him for that one, but it still wasn't a good book. And again, a lot of his later Batman run is like, why? Just why? Anyway, so where does this rank in terms of his books? So let's talk about what is Batman Killing Time. Batman Killing Time is a Batman comic, obviously. It's a mini-series that is set in, like, I guess you could say, like, year 2, or, like, the early years of Batman. And essentially what the story is that Batman has found out that there was a bank during a fight with Killer Croc. Riddler and Catwoman have made off with something in a very important bank, and the Penguin wants it, and other factors want it, and the government wants it, and even Batman wants it. It's this thing called the Eye of God, which I'm not going to go too much because it would kind of spoil the story. It is kind of like an artifact that we do kind of learn its origins throughout the story as well. It won't make sense right out the gate, but trust me, it gets there. This is, again, something that Tom King, I think, works better at, is when he's doing smaller stuff. If you give him, like, a smaller book to do, like, if you give him, like, something on the small scale, like, if you give him, like, 12 issues max, he's gonna give you gold. I do want to read that Rorschach comic he did, but, yeah, that's neither here nor there. I think, like I said, King works better when he's got a, like, 12 issues max. He will give you gold. Other times, if you drag him out for, 85 issues, I think he runs on empty. And it does kind of get predictable. So, this comic is one of the most action-packed books that I think King has done in a while. It's also one of the more brutal books. This Gotham, this Year 2 Gotham, is a shit show. It is like a world trying to get used to Batman. And also, what's interesting about this is that we don't have a Bruce Wayne moment. And what I mean by that is, he does talk to Alfred, but you don't see Alfred or that side of the conversation. You don't even see Bruce Wayne's face. He's like, they don't say his name, they cover his face in shadow. Like, this is all about Batman. Like, you are getting the perspective of Batman. And that might be because this is being told by a third party who is also working with Riddler and Catwoman. I'm not going to talk about that person, but I will say the title kind of gives you a hint as to who it is, who this other party and our narrator is. So, keep that in mind. We also have Penguin in here, which also, Riddler, Penguin, Catwoman are the main three antagonists. And this comic came out when? 2022? You mean in the same year as The Batman? I feel like this was a comic that they were like DC was like, all right, we need a comic with Riddler, Catwoman, and Penguin. Who's got anything? And Tom King went, me. Actually, I think because he's ex-CIA, I think he like materialized behind Jim Lee and was like, I'll do it. Oh shit! Oh, okay, Tom. Okay. This is also, I forgot to mention, David Marquez, who does the artwork. This is really good. Like, I don't know how King keeps getting the best artists on his work, but like, let me just show you like just a one image that says it all for Marquez's artwork. That right there is I stared at that for a good like almost a minute, just taking in all of it. And there's other great images in here with David Marquez's artwork. How he does rain, how he does facial expressions, all of it. It's phenomenal. I really love that. I love all of this. It's also kind of got some nice, I think there was also some elements of Usual Suspects in here. That's the best way to describe it. And we also get some really brutal fights and brutal deaths. There's also another character that the Penguin hires who, by the way, for some reason the Penguin looks like Danny DeVito Penguin, and I'm not using that as a knock. I'm just like, so this is supposed to be in main continuity. Why does he look like Danny DeVito Penguin? Alright, I guess that's just the one Marquez wanted to draw. Sure. Anyway, we also get another character called The Help, who has and I feel like The Help is a little too Mary Sue. I feel like because he's old, but like he's a badass who can take on, admittedly, a young, still year 2 Batman, but he's also like, he knows and trained under Ra's al Ghul and was supposed to be the original heir to the throne. It's weird. And I was like, I don't like this character. I mean, he's a neat element in here, but I feel like he's an unneeded element, and he just makes the story feel just a little too bloated. I will say, though, that there's this great scene in the 5th issue where all of Penguin gets an army of all of Batman's villains' goons, like an army to go kill Riddler and Catwoman, and it basically describes how all of these characters died. Like 3 guys tried to use homemade ice guns because they were part of Mr. Freeze's gang, and they exploded and all froze to death, and their bodies just melted into the ice and no one knew. Like, it just melted into the ground. Another person got shot in the neck and he just bled out calling for his mom who's been dead for 10 years. It's some fucked up and haunting stuff, and even at times I'm like, Jesus, Tom, you're at a 15, I need you at a 7 max, dude. But all in all, I really do like this. This really does feel like Batman, The Usual Suspects. This does a lot for 6 issues, and if you're looking for like some kind of like fun Batman story that isn't like, this isn't considered continuity, but it really does feel like its own thing, I highly recommend Batman Killing Time. If you want to read like a Batman comic that doesn't depend on too much continuity and it's characters here you go. But other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. Chris, thank you once again for this comic. And other than that, hope you all enjoyed this review. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.